On the last day, many will be rebuked by Jesus when he says, "I never knew you." We know this phrase, but many of us don't understand why he says it. See, if you continue to read the verse in Matthew 7, you learn why. He says, "Depart from me, all ye workers of iniquity." He calls these people workers of iniquity or lawlessness. One of the spiritual truths that we learn about Jesus is that he's called the Rock. However, this rock is also described as a stumbling stone or a rock of offense. And when you read the scriptures carefully, you learn that people trip over this rock in two ways. The first way can be found in Romans 9 regarding faith and is most applicable to the Jews because they sought salvation not by faith but by works of the law. This became their stumbling stone. The second way can be found in 1 Peter 2 regarding obedience and is most applicable to us. Can many of us stumble at the word of God and live in complete disobedience regarding the commandments? See, the Jews will accept the commandments of God but reject the testimony of Jesus. And we will accept the testimony of Jesus but reject the commandments of God. From the Old Testament to the New, salvation has never changed. It has always been about faith and obedience. But obedience to what? God's commandments. Here's an example from the Old Testament. In Isaiah 8, it says, "Bind up the testimony and seal the law among my disciples." And from the New Testament in Revelation 12 and 14, it describes God's people, his disciples, his saints, as those that have the testimony of Jesus and those that keep the commandments of God. Even Jesus himself says in John 14, "If you love me, keep my commandments." And yet the first thing that the church tells you is that the commandments don't matter. The thing we have to understand is that God's grace saves us and we access it by faith. And through that faith, we then take up our cross in obedience. Obedience never saves us, but rather it is a byproduct of our salvation. So when we live a life in complete disobedience to his ways, can we truly say that we know him or that he knows us?
Depart from me, ye evildoers, for I will keep the commandments of my God.